Dear friends, today I want to talk to you about something that all of us face sooner or later: the loss of a loved one. I know that some of you may be going through this incredibly difficult challenge right now. Some may have recently lost a dear person, while others still carry the pain of a loss that happened years ago. I understand how hard it can be to even start watching this video. Perhaps you have postponed it multiple times, feeling like you don't have the strength to talk about it or listen to advice. And that's completely normal. Each of us needs our own time to be ready to speak about loss. Today, I want to be that friend who simply sits beside you and shares something that might truly help. There will be no loud phrases like time heals or you just need to let go and move on. We will honestly discuss what someone goes through after losing a loved one and how to learn to live with this pain, gradually transforming it into something that gives you the strength to move forward. The loss of a loved one is not just an event, it is a deep wound that touches every aspect of our lives. Often, we are completely unprepared for how devastating this pain can be. Every morning, as we wake up, we forget for a split second what has happened, and then reality crashes down on us again with renewed force. The familiar world suddenly loses its color, and even simple daily tasks feel insurmountable. In such moments, it is especially hard to cope alone. We may experience a whole spectrum of conflicting emotions: profound sadness and emptiness, anger at the world, or even at the departed person, guilt over things left unsaid or undone. Sometimes we are overwhelmed by denial of what has happened, and at other times we feel numb, as though we cannot feel anything at all. Many try to be strong and keep all their feelings inside, fearing to appear weak or burden others with their grief. Some immerse themselves in work or caring for others, ignoring their own pain. But it is important to understand that any feelings we experience during this time are completely normal. There is no right or wrong way to grieve. The journey through the loss of a loved one can be compared to traveling through uncharted lands. Along the way, we will pass through different stages, and it is important to recognize that each has its own significance. Psychologists speak of several stages of grief, but it is crucial to remember that they do not occur in a strict sequence, and everyone experiences them in their own way. Initially, there is often shock and denial. Our mind seems to try to shield us from unbearable truth by creating a sense of unreality. We may continue living on autopilot, mechanically performing familiar actions, or conversely, freeze in time, unable to act. This is a natural, protective response of our psyche, helping us not to break under the weight of what has happened. Then, usually, a wave of strong emotions arrives. This could be deep sadness interspersed with bursts of anger or a sense of injustice about what has happened. We may feel anger toward doctors, fate, ourselves, or even the person who has passed. And this too is normal. Anger often masks our helplessness in the face of loss. The bargaining stage is a unique phase when we start an internal dialogue with higher powers or fate. If only I could go back to that day, or if only I had done something differently. These thoughts may haunt us day and night. Often, this is followed by a depressive period when the realization of the irreversibility of the loss sets in. But gradually, step by step, we begin to learn to live in a new reality. This does not mean we forget or betray the memory of the loved one. we simply learn to carry that memory in our hearts while continuing on our life journey. Acceptance does not come as a moment of enlightenment, but as a gradual understanding that we can live on, keeping the love for the departed person within us. In the first days and weeks after the loss, the most important thing is to take care of the basic necessities. It may seem that food, sleep, and rest do not matter now, but these simple actions are what will help us avoid completely breaking down. Even if you have no appetite, try to eat a little. If you cannot sleep at night, allow yourself to nap during the day. Our body needs support just as much as our soul. Acute waves of grief can overwhelm us at the most unexpected moments, in a store, at work, or on public transport. In such instances, a simple grounding technique can help. Feel your feet on the floor, take a few slow breaths, look around, and name 5 objects you see. This helps bring you back to the present moment and calm down a bit. Many people find it helpful to create a specific space or time for grieving. This could be a particular hour of the day when you allow yourself to immerse in memories and feelings, or a quiet corner at home with a photo of your loved one. Such a mindful approach helps you avoid being constantly consumed by grief while also not suppressing it. It is very important to learn to be kinder to yourself during this time. Do not scold yourself for tears or for moments of joy that may unexpectedly slip into your life. Do not blame yourself for not being able to function as you used to. If you need to take a sick leave from work, take it. If you need to decline social obligations, do so. This is not the time for heroics or achievements. It is the time for healing. Keeping a journal or simply writing down your thoughts and feelings can be very helpful. It allows you to release emotions that can sometimes be difficult to express in conversations with others. Moreover, such notes can become an important part of your healing journey, helping you track how your feelings evolve over time. A special place in the healing process is taken by working with memories of a loved one. Initially, any memory can cause acute pain, and we instinctively try to protect ourselves by distancing from them. But over time, it is important to learn to embrace these memories, turning them from a source of pain into a source of strength and warmth. Start by creating special memory rituals. It can be something very simple, lighting a candle on significant dates, preparing the loved one's favorite dish, or listening to their favorite music. Some find solace in planting a tree or creating a photo album. Others continue projects that were important to their loved one or bring their dreams to life. The key is for these rituals to have personal meaning for you. Sharing memories with those who also knew and loved the departed person is immensely helpful. Tell stories about them. Recall funny moments, their habits, and quirks. Often, in such conversations, we discover new facets of our loved one's personality, which helps preserve a fuller and more vivid memory of them. Over time, you will notice how the nature of these memories changes. The sharp pain gradually gives way to gentle sadness and gratitude. You begin to feel the presence of your loved one, not as a loss, but as a gift. All the lessons they taught you, the love you shared, the values they helped you gain. This does not mean that you stop missing or feeling sad. It simply adds something else, a realization of how much richer you have become for having known and loved this person. One of the most difficult, yet essential steps in the healing process is acknowledging that we need the support of others. Often, we hear the phrase, I must handle this on my own. But in moments of deep grief, there is nothing more natural than the need for human warmth and understanding. Our ancestors always faced loss together as a community, and this need for connection is deeply rooted in our nature. Sometimes it seems like no one around us can truly understand our pain, but often people simply don't know how to approach us, afraid to say the wrong thing or stir up our feelings. Don't be afraid to take the first step. Tell your loved ones that you need their support. This could be as simple as their silent presence, walks together, or the opportunity to talk about your feelings. Support groups, where people who have experienced similar losses gather, can play a special role in the healing process. In these groups, you will find people who truly understand what you are going through. Here, you don't need to pretend to be strong or hold back tears. The experiences of others who have already passed through the toughest stages of grief can become a source of hope and support for you. There are moments when professional help from a psychologist or psychotherapist is necessary, especially if you notice that grief is so overwhelming that it interferes with your daily life. If thoughts of meaninglessness arise, or if you feel stuck in your pain for a prolonged time, seeking professional help is not a sign of weakness, but an act of self care and respect for your emotions. The journey toward healing after losing a loved one is like a slow awakening after a long winter. At first, the changes are so small that they are almost imperceptible. Perhaps one day you will catch yourself genuinely smiling for the first time in a long while, or realize that you can remember your loved one without sharp pain in your heart. These are small yet important signs that healing is taking place. Gradually, you will begin to notice life seeping back into your daily routine. You might feel interest in activities or hobbies that once brought you joy. Don't rush to push these moments away out of guilt. Your loved one would surely want to see you happy. Allow yourself these small joys. They do not diminish the depth of your love and memories. An important part of healing is integrating the loss into the story of your life. The loss becomes a part of you, changes your worldview, and teaches you to value relationships and time in new ways. Many people say that after experiencing loss, they became more sensitive to the pain of others, learned to appreciate simple moments in life, and reassessed their priorities. This does not mean that the loss was necessary for this growth, but it does show that even from the hardest experiences, something meaningful can arise. Gradually, you will begin to build a new life, not as a replacement for the old one, but alongside it. In this new life, the memory of your loved one will not be a burden, but an inner resource. You will learn to carry this memory with you in a way that gives you strength to move forward. And one day, you will realize that you are capable not only of living on, but of once again feeling the fullness of life, joy, love, and dreams. Dear friends, as we conclude our conversation, I want to say to everyone who is currently experiencing the pain of loss, you are not alone on this journey. Every tear, every difficult day, every moment of despair is part of your path to healing. Do not blame yourself if this path turns out to be longer or harder than you expected. Remember that love does not die with the passing of a loved one. It simply changes form, transforming from everyday hugs and conversations into a quiet presence in our hearts. Every time you do something your loved one taught you, Every time you recall their wise words or follow their example, you continue their life through your own. I believe in your strength and ability to overcome this challenge. I believe that one day you will once again feel the joy of life while keeping the bright memory of your loved one in your heart. And may this memory become a source of strength and inspiration for your journey ahead. Share your stories and experiences in the comments. Perhaps your words of support will help someone currently facing a similar challenge. And finally, friends, I want to thank you for spending this time with me, for your trust and openness to such a difficult topic. If you found this conversation helpful, subscribe to the channel. We have many more important topics to explore together. Click the bell icon so you don't miss new videos. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones. See you soon.